What's up, you guys? This is Azriel the One. Y'all know what this is about. I'm just too lazy to sit the fuck up right now, so I'm just kind of like reclining a little bit, enjoying the cool night out on the town. School starts back tomorrow, so yeah. No new admin notes to put out, so let's get right into it. And here it is. I find it very funny how people get upset when we use the term bastard to describe children. Now, for those people who don't know what the definition is, the primary legal definition of the term, when we're talking in terms of law, is a child born out of wedlock. So I find it strange how people are getting upset because we say bastard kids. But that's what they are. They're bastards. What do you expect? Why are you getting mad for us calling it as we see it? You know, this thing called It Is What It Is. Well, I'm just saying it is what it is. So I don't understand what's the big hullabaloo about saying that. It's not like saying your kid's a fucking cunt. Now, I can see you getting mad if someone called your kid a cunt, a cocksucking douchebag. You know, those are pejoratives that don't really mean anything but to be offensive. But the term bastard really is describing a state of legal status. Now, the simple thing is that what this goes into is that we live in a society now where the old-time morals no longer exist. You see, back in the day, you didn't have bastard kids. Well, if you were a woman, you didn't have bastard kids. Simply because you couldn't find a husband. If you did, you didn't work. So, because you didn't work, you had no way to support yourself. And so, having a bastard kid was just not a smart economical move. Now, flash forward about 200 years, and after the advent of the second wave of feminism, not the first wave, excuse me, second wave of feminism, and all of a sudden, there are bastard kids everywhere. Like, I swear to God, you would think I'm looking at miniature Wes Welkers, because if life is a football field, then these bastards are everywhere. Like, there's no denying it. You turn up, you look, there's a bastard kid right in front of you. You turn around, there's a bastard kid right behind you. Bastard kids everywhere. Though seriously, if we are going to get upset at the fact that the legal term definitely applies to a child that was lovingly made, even though it was done in an illicit manner, we should then be so more concerned with stemming the tide of bastard children being created. The simple fact of the matter to stem bastard children being created is simply to do this: get married. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, let me explain to you how I feel about it. You see, being born a bastard child is something I don't know anything about because, well, when I was born, my parents were married. But a lot of my relatives, both immediate and extended, are born bastard children. Now, what this shows is a lack of moral framework in society. You see, in the old-time way, it showed when we weren't having bastard kids all over the place, especially in the black community, it showed a high standard of moral fiber. It showed a standard of black women actually caring about their appearance in public. And what I mean by appearance, I mean their reputation. But for some weird reason, after second wave feminism, that shit said whoop right out the fucking window. But you're going to get mad when we say the kids are born bastards. Then you want to say, stop saying bastards. Stop it, stop it, stop it. My response is, they're bastards. The bastards, they're bastards. Now, all jokes aside, let me get serious for a minute. I want to explore this moment to say, hey, because this is a moral issue. This has nothing to do with religion, but this has everything to do with curbing the delinquency that's cropping up in our community. Our children are being put into situations where they are not balanced because we have one parent raising them. Now, I can understand single parenthood as a result of a spouse dying, a spouse being locked up. I can understand those. Those are things that are not within your control, black women. But when you're going out here and you're fucking Tom, Dick, and Harry, and you come up pregnant, lucky for you, in this time, we don't find it shameful. Because back in the day, you would almost certainly be ostracized. Maybe that needs to happen again. Maybe we need to go back to ostracizing women who are having bastard kids out of wedlock. My reasoning? Because it shows a slant towards actual family values. In this society, we don't have family anymore. We are just a group of people. That's it. Sometimes we have positive experiences together. A lot of times we have negative experiences together. But the end result is still the same. The family is absolutely destroyed. Now, when I say this, I mean this about the black community, of course. Now, for those of you out here are going to say it, yes, I know it's not just black people. Behind black people having the highest rate of out of wedlock births are Latinos and Native Americans. But for the purposes of this discussion, we're just going to talk about black folk. You see, if we go back to old-time values, I believe that women will learn a sense of self-respect that makes them desirable to the upper echelon men that they wish to make life partners with. Also, it gives an opportunity for the sons that they birth to become better quality men because they have now a standard bearer in their home. Now, this is not 100% foolproof, but it sure beats 72% of us not having that at all. Just some food for thought. Now, if the term bastard offends you, you can't change the fact that you had a bastard child. But what you can do is say to yourself, I'm not going to give birth to any more bastard children. From here on in, I'm going to make it my personal business. Even though I have a child out of wedlock, I'm going to find somebody that is willing to take me on with my one child and accept us and become a family with us. Then, if we decide to have more children, then it'll be done correctly. And here's how that works out. The child gets a father figure, you get a mate, the man gets a family. End of story. Yes, the man comes out the least in the situation, but it's better than the alternative. You not get married, you reproduce a whole bunch of bastard kids, and now the state is taking care of you, and the taxpayers pay for it. Now, this is not a knock on people who have bastard children. This is not a knock on you. Shit happens. Some people, I hate to say it, may have gotten their kids by rape. Some people may have gotten it from most of you have probably gotten it from being careless. And a few of you just don't believe in the convention of marriage, and so you decide to give birth to a bastard child. Look, I'm not trying to knock you, but I'm giving my honest opinion. I think we as a black society need to go back to the old time values, which is 2-parent families, mom, dad. We get married. We push the standard for marriage. My parents were married. My father taught me from young that you should want to have a family, and you should want to do it the right way, which is get married. Don't have kids out of wedlock. Now, he told me this, and I wasn't aware of it until I got a little older, because my father had bastard children out of wedlock. He had 2. Not by my mother. My mother had 1 bastard child out of wedlock. Not by my father. But they made sure that when I and my younger sister got here, that they pushed that message, because we clearly see that it is a struggle. Everybody thinks that this bastard child birthing is so cool, but we don't realize until afterward it is a struggle because you're by yourself. Why do that? Why put the cart before the horse? See, proper vetting of your mates makes this task easier. So then, when you pull your dime stack out, you start fucking with her fun parts and her fun bags, and she comes up pregnant. If you're a stand-up guy, she'll know. She doesn't have to worry about saying, I'm pregnant. That's something you have to worry about when you're not married. You're not in a stable relationship. You're not financially ready. You're not mentally ready. You're not emotionally ready. And you know who suffers for it? The bastard kid. The kid didn't do anything to be put in the situation. So although the mark is on him, the stigma of it is really on the mother. Now, I know it seems like I was just rambling a little bit, so let me just bring this bitch home. Bastard children happening in society is a sure sign of degradation of a moral framework. It shows that we do not value family. It shows that we do not care for our children to give them the best statistical chance of success. It shows that we are nothing more than mindless animals looking to satisfy the most base urge. If that offends you, then it should. Congratulations. You heard exactly what I needed you to hear. We have to come away from a point where having bastard kids is all the rage. Instead, we need to ostracize it. We need to call it out. Now, hear me clearly. This is not, again, I'm not knocking a single mother. If you are a single mother due to acts beyond your control, then how can I gig you? That would be very remiss of me to sit around and knock on you, not knowing your situation, and come to find out that you didn't just go out there and fucking get a kid, but you had a stable relationship and this happened. That would be pretty fucked up of me. But a lot of you women are out here having these bastard kids. You're having these bastard kids because you had no self-control. We got to get away from that. Black people, I'm asking you to not only hold your battle buddy to your left, to your right accountable, ask them to hold you accountable. If you got bastard kids, you know what? That's fine. Once is ignorance, twice is a mistake. Stop doing it. I'll give you an example. I have a friend of mine from Texas. She was a teen pregnancy. I met her and I met her daughter. They're lovely people. And there's no knock on them. But you know what she said to me? I am not doing this again. I want more kids. But I'm not going to have kids this way. It's not right. See, black women, I put her up. I'm not going to put her name or a photo up for the protection of her own privacy. But see, that's the attitude, black women, that if you've got bastard kids already, you need to have. And if you don't have kids out of wedlock, don't have them. Say, I need to get married. I need to show my children that this is the way it should be. This is the best stable way to raise a family. Now, there are exceptions to that rule, because there are some single parents who do a bang-up job. I mean, a real good job. Kids are well-adjusted, well-behaved, the whole 9 yards. But those are the exceptions. We're too busy trying to make that the rule. Like I said, we can simply stem this tide by returning to family first. Family values. That means you get married. Doesn't necessarily mean you have to remain a virgin now. Although it will be preferable, black men and black women, that you remain virgins till you get married. But that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother day. It's to show your children that this is what it's about. Family. It's about creating positive influences from day one. It's not just about giving the kid the breast action. It's about a father bonding with his child, a father seeing the mother and father bond, and the child seeing the mother and father that's bonding with them, and they see the child bonding with them, and it creates a strong family unit. It's a challenge for you black people in 2014. I know a lot of you gonna have babies this year. How many of you are gonna do it right? By show of hands, by show of thumbs up, show me if you're gonna do right. That's all I can ask y'all to do. But as far as us not calling kids bastards, I'm sorry. Get over it. If you didn't like the fact that the kids are being called bastards, then maybe you shouldn't have fucked to get them outside of marriage. You've just been notified. You just watched a video from Azriel the One. I thank you guys so much. I probably will do a part 2 to this later. Right now, I'm kind of exhausted, and I got a long day tomorrow.